Can I have the response? Kavya? Okay. So, okay, ma. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good evening, students. Let's start today's session. Today we are going to deal with the unit 6. Okay, that is all about information security and cryptography. So in that 6th unit, we are going to start with the 6th unit in the topic various concepts of cryptography. Okay. So the objective of the session is to make you known about the various concepts behind the cryptography, and the outcome may be able to, the students may be able to understand the concepts of cryptography, and these are the outlines plan for today's session. That is, we are going to start with the introduction part and definition of cryptography, and what are the terminologies involved in cryptography, and what are the classifications of cryptography. And we are having two main types under the cryptography. The first one is symmetric key cryptography, and the second one is asymmetric key cryptography. Okay, and we are going to compare these two types, symmetric versus asymmetric key cryptography. Then we'll be seeing what are the merits and demerits in each type, symmetric and asymmetric key cryptography, and where we can apply this cryptography. The application part of cryptography, we'll be seeing all these, and we'll have the conclusion part. Okay, so these are the things we are going to see in today's session. Okay, let's coming to the introduction part of cryptography. Here, the main goal of cryptography is going to have a confidentiality part. Okay, confidentiality means that is some secret information should be maintained. So the information should be processed between the sender and the receiver in a secured manner. Okay, confidential manner. Okay. So, for example, if the two persons, Alice and Bob, so they are going to have a communication between them. If it is so, the Alice, for example, Alice is going to send a account number and the PIN number to Bob. Okay? If this is the case, no one should interrupt the message and pick out all these account number details and PIN details. Okay? So Eve is the eavesdropper, that is intruder, who can go and capture all these information, secure information or confidential information. So that should not happen. So for that case, we can go for the concept that is cryptography. So we can go for applying the encryption methodology. So encryption means some whatever the Alice is going to send is going to be called as, that message is called as a plain text. Okay, fine. Now upon applying any encryption algorithm, will convert the plain text into the unintelligible message. Unintelligible message means ciphertext, that is, which could not be understandable by the intruder. So Eve could not understand the confidential information. So only the recipient, that is the receiver Bob, can decipher, that is decipher means decrypt the code. Whatever the Alice sends, it might be decrypted by Bob with a secret. So the secret key must be shared between the Alice and the Bob. So with the secret key, they can both can share the information in a confidential way. So for that purpose, cryptography emerges into it. Okay, fine. So coming on to the definition part of cryptography, it is an ancient art and science of writing in secret message. So simply we can call cryptography as a secret writing or hidden writing. So no one can understand that. So only the sender will be sending the particular message to the recipient. The recipient knows what the sender has sent. Okay. So this cryptography comes from the Greek word. Crypto means hiding, okay, and graphy means writing. So hidden writing, that is called as cryptography or secret writing. Okay, so writing in a secret, writing a secret message, that is called as cryptography. Okay, so in another way we can define the cryptography as the art of achieving the security to the messages. We are going to protect or give some security to the messages what the sender is going to send. That should not be readable by any intruder. Okay. Okay. The same thing is depicted here. It's a Greek word means the secret writing. Okay, and we can define the cryptography as a science and art of transforming the messages in a secured manner, okay, and which must be immune to attack. There should not be any attacker eavesdropping the messages. So it all will be protected. So messages will be sent in a secured manner. Okay. So applications of cryptography includes ATM cards, okay, computer passwords, e-commerce. So these are some of the listed above. Okay. So as we have seen, cryptography is not in science of secret writing. Okay, and moreover, it's mainly for achieving the security by encoding the messages to make them unreadable to anyone. Okay. So for example, the readable message is going to be this. If it is fed as input to the cryptographic system, so this process is systematic and well structured. Okay. So whatever the readable message, it will convert into the unreadable message. So this we call it as readable message as plain text, and this unreadable message is called as ciphertext. Okay, fine. So the people who try to decode this, decode in the sense to know this particular secret information for the benefit, so that people or this technique of breaking the secret code is called as script analysis. So the technique of breaking the secret information or secret codes, so that is called as script analysis. Okay, fine. So we are going to see some of the terminologies related with the cryptography. So the first terminology is script analysis. So script analysis is also a Greek word. Okay, so it's a study of analyzing the information system in order to, that is, the study is going to be the hidden aspects of the system. Okay? So the secret part of the system, that study is called as script analysis. Okay? That is hidden part means that is breaking the secret code, that is called as script analysis. Okay, fine. So cryptology means it is the study of both the cryptography as well as the cryptanalysis. That is called as cryptology. Okay. So that is, in other words, we can say cryptology as the art and science of making the secret codes and breaking the secret codes. Okay. So cryptanalysis means the process of the science, art and science of breaking the secret codes is cryptanalysis, and creating the secret codes is cryptography. And both these combined together, making the secret codes and breaking the secret codes, we call it as cryptology. Okay, fine. So coming to the next terminology is plain text and ciphertext. So the original message before the sender it's planned to transfer to the receiver, that original message is called as plain text. So after the message transferred to the receiver, or it is received at the destination point, that message is called as ciphertext. Okay. So an encryption algorithm will be applied, which transforms the plain text into the ciphertext, and the decryption algorithm will be applied by the receiver, which transforms the ciphertext back into the plain text. That is called as decryption or decoding system. Okay, fine. For example, consider the plain text is hello, HELLO, and the ciphertext KHOOR. Okay, so the conversion of plain text hello into KHOOR ciphertext is called as encryption. And again, you are getting back the ciphertext, plain text from the ciphertext, that is called as decryption. Okay, we'll see how they are converting this plain text into ciphertext in the coming slides. Okay. So this we have seen. That is cryptography means it's science and study of hiding information or secret writing or hidden writing, that is called as cryptography. And encryption means conversion of plain text to ciphertext, and decryption means getting back the ciphertext again back to the plain text is decryption. So if this is your plain text, so if the plain text is, the sender uses this plain text and applying some encryption algorithm and uses the key to convert the plain text into ciphertext. Okay. So at the destination, that is receiver point, the decryption algorithm is applied to convert the ciphertext and the key to get back the plain text. This is what the cryptography works. Okay. As we have seen, all these encryption means the process of transforming the information from plain text to ciphertext. That is, the ciphertext will not be understandable or unintelligible to anyone, may not be unreadable to any person. So, except the recipient, except the receiver. Okay, fine. Decryption means it's the process of transforming the encrypted information and it's getting back again to the plain text. That is, in order to get back the intelligible information again. That is called as decryption. From ciphertext to plain text, that is decryption. Okay, plain text means whatever the message to be transmitted or stored, that is called as plain text, and ciphertext means the encrypted message, that is going to be called as the ciphertext. Okay, algorithm means the formula, the mathematical formula used for the encryption as well as for the decryption. Okay, and ciphers means it is all mentioning the algorithm used for encryption and decryption. Okay, and what is meant by key? So it is nothing but the value used by the algorithm to encrypt the data and as well as to decrypt the data. Okay. So cipher means encryption and decryption algorithm is referred to as ciphers. Okay, encryption and decryption algorithm. Okay, so it is also used to refer different categories of algorithms in cryptography. Okay, fine. So one such example is traditional substitution cipher. Substitution cipher. So under the substitution cipher, you are having two different kinds of cipher algorithms. One is monoalphabetic cipher, the other one is polyalphabetic cipher. Okay. So what is meant by a key? So already we are saying key is the value used by the algorithm to perform the encryption and decryption. Okay, fine. So in other words, we can say key is a number or a set of numbers. That key can be operated upon the encryption algorithm or decryption algorithm that is going to be called as a ciphers. Okay. So to encrypt a message, suppose if you going to perform a encryption means we need an encryption algorithm. First one. Second thing, you need an encryption key. Second one, and the plain text. So with these three things, you can go for encrypting a particular message. So if you are want to decrypt a message, you need a decryption algorithm, decryption key, and the ciphertext. So with all these, we can get back the original plain text. Okay. So what are the types of keys of having means? There are three types. One is the shared key, the other one is public key, other one is private key. Okay. So why we are going for cryptography means? So already we have seen it's mainly meant for secret writing or hidden writing. That is art and science of breaking the secret codes. That is creating the secret codes and breaking the secret codes. So creating the secret codes is called as cryptography. Okay, fine. So the main types, two main types of cryptography or thing is symmetric key cryptography and asymmetric key cryptography. Okay. So mainly they are going to use the cryptography for secured establish a shared secret information between the two parties, sender and the receiver. Okay. So this is the transmission technique. That is how the cryptography works. Okay. So consider this is the original plain text. Okay, fine. So this is given as the input, and so here is the user or the sender is going to convert this plain text into the ciphertext. Okay, fine. So the ciphertext, so he is the eavesdropper. So might be in the transmission, the eavesdropper may can come and intrude it and go for changing the message, but this won't happen because of the cryptography. So because it is being used, encryption algorithm is used, that is plain text is converted into ciphertext. And at the recipient point, the decoder, so he is called a decoder, that is receiver, that is recipient destination point, okay? And the sender is going to be called as the encoder, okay, fine. So decoder will convert the ciphertext into the plain text, okay, fine. So that in between the eavesdropper could not understand what the message is being transmitted between the sender and the receiver. Okay? Since encryption is carried out, encrypted message could not be understood by the eavesdropper or intruder. So he could not understand nothing about the message. Okay. So here is the classification of cryptography. It is, as we have seen, the main two categories of cryptography is symmetric key cryptography and asymmetric key cryptography. Okay. So fine. The symmetric key cryptography is divided into classical cryptography and modern cryptography. So classical cryptography is divided into transposition cipher and substitution cipher. So classical or traditional cryptography. Okay, fine. So modern cryptography this again further divided into stream cipher and block cipher. Okay. Okay, fine. As we have already seen, symmetric key and asymmetric key. So symmetric key encryption or also called as secret key cryptography. Asymmetric key cryptography algorithms are also called as public key cryptography. So this symmetric key or otherwise called as secret key or otherwise called as private key cryptography. So there are three names for symmetric key, secret key and private key cryptography algorithms. And coming on to asymmetric, it is otherwise called as public key cryptography algorithms. Fine. So modern cryptography, it has three types of algorithms. The first one is secret key cryptography or private key cryptography cryptography or symmetric key cryptography. And the second type is hash functions. And third one is public key cryptography or asymmetric key cryptography. Okay, fine. Let's see what is meant by symmetric key cryptography. Okay. So in the symmetric key cryptography, the same key, so that will be used by both the sender and the receiver. Okay. So the sender uses this key and an encryption algorithm to encrypt the data. So the receiver also uses the same key and go for applying the decryption algorithm to decrypt the data. So sender and the receiver will use the same key. Okay? That key will be shared by both the parties. So it is otherwise called as private key encryption. So in symmetric key encryption, the data is encrypted by a single same key that only the sender and the receiver knows. Okay. So here, okay. So single key is used at the time of encryption as well as at the time of decryption. So symmetric key is also called as secret key secret key cryptography. So in this case, sender and the receiver will be using the same key and an encryption and decryption algorithm to encrypt and decrypt the data. So that is, the key will be shared by both the parties. Okay. So sharing a single common key that is used to encode, encrypt and decrypt the message. So in other terms, we can say data is encrypted and decrypted using the same single key. Okay. So symmetric key cryptography is otherwise called as secret key cryptography, otherwise called as private key cryptography. Okay. So in coming on to the secret key cryptography or symmetric key, a single key is used. The sender uses this key to encrypt and the receiver uses the same key to decrypt the data, and both the parties will be knowing the common secret key. Okay. So what is the problem with this secret key cryptography is that how the key will be distributed among the sender and the receiver. So the difficulty is being placed on the distribution of the key. That is the main demerit in secret key cryptography. So we are moving on to the next type, that is public key cryptography. That is otherwise called as asymmetric key cryptography. So this is what the skeleton of the secret key cryptography, that is the plain text will be converted into ciphertext with the same key. So the same key will be used by the decoder and he will use the same key to convert the ciphertext into the plain text. Okay. So uses a single key for both the encryption process and the decryption process. So here the same thing. So plain text hello world is given for encryption, and the key secret key used to encrypt the data, that the same key will be shared by the receiver or the decoder, and this ciphertext will be converted into the plain text again by using the decryption algorithm with the same key shared by the sender and the receiver. Okay. The same thing is depicted here. The secret key is going to be a single common one that is shared by both the sender and the receiver at the time of encryption and at the time of decryption. So here you can say that the key is going to be called as a shared secret key. If suppose shared secret key is K, so Alice will be using the encryption key, that is K, will be used by Alice. So will be converting plain text into ciphertext, and Bob will be using the same decryption key K at the time of the decryption, and he will convert ciphertext into the plain text. Okay. the steps of cryptography, how it happens. First step, it has to, the sender has to select the key and go for encryption, applying the encryption algorithm. Okay? And the second step, the sender has to give the key and the ciphertext, because at the first step, the plain text will be converted into ciphertext. So, the decoder should be provided with the ciphertext as well as the key. So, give key and ciphertext to the receiver. And the same key will be applied at the decryption algorithm to get back the plain text again from the ciphertext. So, use the key to decrypt the ciphertext. Okay. So, as far as the symmetry in cryptography, it is very simple to implement, as well as it can be implemented in a faster manner. Okay. So, the main drawback in this is between the two parties is that the exchanging of the key in a secure way. That should be performed in a secure manner. So, but this is not the case. Okay. So, in exchanging, there may be some flaw may occur. So, for that case, public key encryption is going to emerge. This avoids the problem, whatever the problem occurs in symmetry key system. Okay. Because the public key can be distributed in a non-secure way, and the private key is never transmitted. So, in case of public key encryption, so you are going to use two different kinds of keys. So, one is the public key and the other one is the private key. So, public key will be distributed in a non-secure way, and the private key will not be transmitted. So, this public key encryption avoids this problem because usage of two different keys. Okay. So, the best example for symmetry key algorithms are DES and 3DES and AES. Okay. So, what is DES? That is Data Encryption Standard, and AES is Advanced Encryption Standard, and IDEA. So, these are all the names of the algorithms of symmetry key cryptography or secret key cryptography or private key cryptography. Okay, fine. DES, AES and IDEA, that is International Data Encryption Algorithm. So, coming on to the next, so this is DES is one such familiar, most popular symmetry key cryptography algorithm, and this DES will be using 56 bit keys, and they are short enough to be easily brute forced by the modern hardware. And it is recommended that DES should not be used. So, in that case, we are moving to the triple DES, that is 3DES. Okay. So, it uses 128 bits key length. So, the length of the key is 128 bits. Okay. The same algorithm, DES algorithm, is applied 3 times to produce a strong encryption. Okay. So, the merits and demerits of the symmetry key cryptography is that the merit is that you can easily implement the symmetry key algorithm, and it also works in a faster manner. Okay? And demerit is that the exchange of keys between the two parties is it should be carried out in a secure way. Okay. The second demerit is the public key is distributed in a non-secure way between the client and the server. And this makes the hackers to get the key as the public key is shared in a non-secure way and secure way. Okay? So, there is a possibility of attackers or hackers to go on, get the ciphertext. Okay. So, the traditional cipher techniques are the first one is substitution cipher and the second one is transposition cipher. Okay. So what is meant by substitution cipher? So substitution cipher means it's a technique in which the letters or the symbols or the numbers of the plain text. So the plain text could be any numerical value or characters or symbols or letters. Okay, so that can be replaced by other letters, numbers, and symbols. That is called as substitution cipher. For example, you can have A is replaced by another letter D, and T is replaced by another letter Z. Okay? As well as numbers can be replaced by another number. Okay? So 2 replaced by 5 and 5 replaced by 3. So that is substitution cipher. Letter can be replaced by a letter and numbers can be replaced by other numbers. Okay? Coming on to the next type, that is transposition cipher. So in this technique, the position of the letters, numbers, symbols in the plain text is changed with the another position, that is the location